Good evening, bonsoir, bienvenue à la réunion plénière. Welcome to the Committee of a Whole on February 13th. Ms. Parker, do we have any declaration of conflict of interest?
There are no conflicts of interest.
Perfect. So we do have a presentation, kind of looking forward to that one. So on a une présentation de la chasse dans la ville de Bathurst par Paul Arsenault, Denis Guittard et François Chiasson. Vous pouvez venir en avant prendre la parole si vous voulez. Et vous pouvez parler dans le langage de votre choix. On a la traduction simultanée pour ceux et celles qui l'auraient besoin.
Merci beaucoup au Conseil, aux conseillers, maires, députés maires, Conseil exécutif. Presentation will probably be mostly in English, as it was structured that way. We might alternate from French to English, depending on. And if you have any questions, we'll gladly answer them after the presentation. It's jam-packed, so I know we only have 15 minutes, so I'm going to try to go right to the point. Introduce my co-presenters with us. So, François, if you want to introduce yourself, real quick.
Good evening, all. My name is François Chiasson. I'm I guess at the grassroots, I'm a forest ranger. I started working as a forest ranger back in 1986. For all of these years until 2005, I was a forest ranger, conservation officer. I worked in forest fires. In 2005, I became district ranger in the Bathurst district until 2013. In 2013, I became a regional conservation manager. My duties then revolved mostly around the application of the laws from Saint-Quentin to Miscou Island. Back in 2015, we amalgamated with Justice and Public Safety, where I became an inspector with Justice and Public Safety, responsible again for conservation laws from Edmundston to Miscou Island.
Bonjour, bonsoir. My name is Denis Guittard. I'm working for the province of New Brunswick as a forest ranger since 1988. So it's going to be my 35th year this year. My main task for the last 20 years, I'm a fish and wildlife technician, and also I'm a trapper instructor for the province. I'm also a trapper coordinator for all the trapper education course in northern New Brunswick. I'm also a trapper myself. I've been trapping since I'm 12 years old, so over 45 years. I'm also the president of the Trapper Association in Bathurst, which is part of the New Brunswick Trappers and Harvesters Federation. And also, I'm a land owner. I have a camp, and I'm an outfitter for bear hunting. So I bring people from the United States to come here to hunt bear every year. So tonight, I'm here not as a forest ranger to represent the province, but I'm here to represent the Bathurst Trappers Association because I'm the president of the association.
Thank you, Denis, François. My name is Paul Arsenault. I'm a professional accountant, business co-owner in Bathurst for the last 30 years. Anybody that knows me, I have a contagious passion for hunting, fishing, handling, trapping. Did write a couple of books on the subject for NB hunting, participated in trade shows, advise these guys, like we do consultation process throughout the province when there's changes to the laws, some things we think is not equitable or right, we try to change it, for example, extending the moose season and stuff like that. So I've been involved in, let's call it the industry, for quite a few years. I'm a concerned resident of Ward 2, North Tedigush, one of the reasons I'm here today. And I've aligned with these guys, they have a wealth of information to share because of their career in hunting and conservation. So I'll just skip the summary because it's self-explanatory. It's going to take some time. Each topic is well explained by each of us. François, Denis, like you mentioned, is going to bring in the trapping issues that could be addressed. François is really the layman's guy, like he'll bring in the legal aspects of it, and I'll bring in the heritage portion, the cultural benefits of hunting. Why we're here today, I guess what really, le trait qu'on a en commun, c'est la conservation, le programme de chasse sécuritaire. I'm a hunter educator, François is as well, and Denis is a 20 years trapper course educator. So we try to promote safety and conservation, strong ethics for our sport. That's one thing that links us all together. Mathieu Trudel did a presentation here a couple of weeks ago, or last month, I should say, and he provided an enlightening perspective for me anyways, from somebody coming into the city, buying land and being told you can't hunt. So it rung a bell. I think we can provide some information, key inputs for you guys to make the best decision possible pertaining to this bylaw, demonstrate that hunting and trapping is safe and enjoyable. We'll also have other concerns that we can discuss at large with you guys after we do our presentation on hunting and trapping, and how we can use it as a game management tool. It's one of the best ones there is out there, and that's what we preach in our courses so if we provide enough information, and if it's not enough and you need to discuss with us, we're available. Like, we'll keep this discussion going. You want to take over?
All right, so I guess what we'd like to address now is that there is a bylaw number 2005-16. The bylaw in the city of Bathurst deals primarily with hunting and discharging of firearms within the city limits. Ward 2, some of us in Ward 2, when the annexation of the local service districts to the municipalities came about, of course, there were some concerns about these recreational activities that were allowed to carry out, such as hunting and trapping in our area. There is a very effective tool that exists out there in New Brunswick. It's called the New Brunswick Fish and Wildlife Act. The New Brunswick Fish and Wildlife Act deals with a great many set of regulations. Excuse me. These regulations deal with hunting, trapping, fishing. It deals with time of day, species, where you can hunt, where you cannot hunt. There's provisions for set aside for private woodlot owners. They have rights. It's very well balanced, I think, to appease everyone who supports hunting and trapping, and for those that do not support hunting and trapping. There's places where you can discharge a firearm or hunt. There's distances. There's places that you're not allowed, such as businesses, near businesses, schools, parks. Yeah, thanks. Yep. So, and near NB trails, refuge, wildlife refuge, for example, the Bathurst Harbor is a wildlife refuge for migratory birds. Daly Point is also a place where you're not allowed to discharge firearms. So there's interest there to appease everybody. There's 2 islands in harbor where you can hunt for migratory birds. Talking about the distances, people, most hunters, all hunters are aware that there's restrictions in distances where you can hunt or discharge firearm or bow, and also for trapping. For example, if you're within 400 meters of a dwelling, you're not allowed to discharge a high-powered rifle. If you're 300 meters of a dwelling, you're not allowed to place a land-based set, which is a trap. If you're hunting small game, for example, using a shotgun, you're not allowed to discharge firearm within 200 meters of a dwelling. And if you're a bow hunter, you have to stay outside 100 meters of a dwelling if you're going to discharge your bow. When you consider this, and then you consider the rights of the property owner may post his land as no hunting or hunting. So taking into consideration all of these regulations under the Fish and Wildlife Act, it's pretty interesting to look at them at a map and see where you can and where you cannot a hunt. So the map before you here explains exactly what is in white and what is in yellow. So what is in white is a safe zone. So these are places where you're outside 400 meters of hunting. I don't have a map for the 300 meter for trapping. I did mention that there's a 200 meter buffer. So what is in white is safe zones again, and everything else you're not allowed to hunt. You can see that you're not allowed to hunt in subdivisions, in rural areas where there's homes, everything that's in yellow, right? So this is how the Fish and Wildlife Act is a very effective tool and already deals with this. There's a definition in the Fish and Wildlife Act that's called a resort of wildlife. So a resort of wildlife is any land or water within the province of New Brunswick where wildlife frequent. So basically, all of the province of New Brunswick is, you'll find wildlife, as well as in the city of Bathurst. I mentioned bow hunting also, as it's another sport, and it doesn't deal with firearms, but there's a 100-meter buffer, again, that we expect people to observe and respect under the Fish and Wildlife Act. They cannot discharge a bow within those yellow areas indicated here on your map. I'll leave the trapping aspect of it to Denis Guittard.
Merci, François. So me, I would like to talk a little bit about trapping. It's quite important. It's part of our heritage here in Canada, and very well anchored in New Brunswick. I would like to stress on the benefit of trapping, because there is many benefit. As you all know, there is an economic benefit. Most trappers will sell their pelt, and they rely on that revenue to that will help them for sure. There's also benefit about controlling population. So for us at Natural Resources, or for the trapper, it's very important to keep the density of fur bearers animal low. Why should we keep the density low? Because we know that fur bearers are prone to carry disease, and very bad disease. And we have one in New Brunswick, rabies. It's present now, especially in the south, and it's carried most of the time by raccoon and skunk. So, and it's always worse when the population are high. So that's only one example why we should keep our population down. And the public health is very concerned about rabies. That's why they have a program in conjunction with Department of Natural Resources. And most year when we have a rabies outbreak, we go out and we put a little pellet out in the wood with food pellet with vaccine into them. And we put a pile of them, especially down south around St. Andrews, St. Stephen, Fredericton area. And that is to stop the spread of rabies. And it costs a lot of money. It's about $500,000 a year just for that program. And in 2017, we wanted to know how many raccoon we had per square kilometers in New Brunswick, in order to be able to know how many of those little pellets we would put. So I was part of that study, and I was quite surprised of the result after we did the trapping, and the result of the study that show us that in the urban area, number of raccoon were way higher, the density, than any other places in the province. So the study area that we did, it was part of it was in Fredericton, in Odell Park, and Rockwood Park in St. John. We also did in agriculture, habitat, that was around Sussex area, and the forested area around Stanley. So at the end, we find out that in the forested area, there was only 2 raccoon per square kilometers. In agriculture, we had 11 raccoon per square kilometers, and in the city, 134 raccoon per square kilometers. So that's just to show you, like, even though you're in cities, there could be just as many animal or more than in the forest. So it's important to keep management tool like trapping or hunting to keep our population down. Just if it's not just for the spread of disease, it's for other reason like to trap beaver because they would destroy a lot of infrastructure like road, and there's many municipalities that has problem with beaver in their public water supply. Some municipality I know they have to hire control nuisance operator to trap beaver because when they go in the water supply they can carry disease also, which can be transmitted to a human. We also have problem a lot of time with coyotes. Coyotes are an animal that adapt very, very well to live within the cities, and we experience it right here in Bathurst in the last few weeks because we have a lot of deer around the city. Now the coyote, it's a prey for them, so they move in right into the cities. And it creates stress to some people because they're scared of coyote. Coyote will also eat pets like cats and dogs. So it's important when we have trappers that are out there around the cities that can control the population. Complaints, like we have many complaints. I know like just at the Bathurst DNR office last year alone around Bathurst, they received close to 400 complaints, and out of those complaints 135 were black bear related issues. So they had to go out, set the trap 35 times, and they relocate 13 bear that was coming into town. Many calls about fur bearers, about 5% of it were related to raccoon, fox, coyote, fur bearers. Many others about birds like Canada geese, gannet. Canada geese are overabundant now. They have so many places where they can go, they cannot be hunted. So it's good to be able to hunt some of it to lower the population. So I think I had a map. That's the 300-meter buffer because there are strict rules around trapping, and one of the rules is the buffer. You have to be within 300 meters of a dwelling for if you trap on land. If you're underwater, there's no distance because it's not a problem to catch any domestic animal. But that 300-meter buffer is just to show you that everything that is in yellow would restrict you from trapping, even though there's no city bylaw, just with the Fish and Wildlife Act.
Thank you, Denis. Thank you, Francois. Okay, I'm bringing in the lovey-dovey part of, from a hunter's perspective, okay? The last book I wrote, our motto is preserving our hunting heritage by honoring the game we pursue. Picture my dad here, he's 85, still active on the trap line. My nephew on my woodlot in North Tillagush with his first grouse. So the outdoor lifestyle is part of our DNA up here, anywhere for that matter in New Brunswick. Fishing mackerel in the bay, angling salmon or trout upriver, hunting with friends, family, simply enjoying a dose of vitamin nature, I like to call it. We are country living. I think it's an asset that the city can use to draw in people, residents, new residents to the region. It's a great tool for teaching youth about ethics and respect, responsibility. I was involved in basketball coaching, great character builder. But when I teach hunterhead, the kids, taking a life is it's a serious matter, be it an animal. It teaches values, respect, safety, safety, safety. We have mottos that we use with the kids, like prove it safe, point your gun, remove. You know, it's acronyms that we use, but think before you shoot, make sure of your target and beyond. They're the golden laws of safety when it comes to hunting. Anybody that applies these two simple rules will be a safe hunter, I guarantee you. Think before you shoot, make sure of your target and what's behind it, okay? So it spans many generations, and I'm really proud of, like Denis said, it's part of our heritage. From a conservation standpoint, Denis, feel free if you want to get in on this one. Hunting and trapping, like Denis mentioned, when we have population dynamics, we call it, it's fluctuations in our population models. So right now we seem to have a peak with the urban coyote everywhere. New York City has a problem with urban coyote for the last 10 years. And the dispersion model, if you want to talk about maybe the deer model.
I know we're limited for time, but I'd like to talk a little bit about deer. I know it's changed a lot in the last 35 years. Like 35 years ago, most of our deer were in the wood in the winter. And we had over 300 deer yard, like on the territory. Now, out of that, there's only 90 left. And out of the 90 deer yard that we have left on Crown Land in the wood, there's only about 10% that are active. The reason is like all our deer are shifted on private land. They're around the city. Like around the city, 35 years ago, you never saw a deer in the winter. They're all up in Simpsons Field, Popple area. But for some reason, and it's not only around here, it's right along the East Coast there, United States. It's the same thing in other region of the province. We have other municipality like Quispamsis, St. Andrews. They have really big problem with deer. It's they're really happy that they can have people that are willing to go hunt deer in the city of Quispamsis, because now you have people there that cannot plant a garden, cannot put flowers in front of their house. It's just like the deer love it. And so we at DNR, they issue now a nuisance permit to be able to shoot more deer right in the middle of the city. But where there's enough wood, you're far enough from the house, from the dwelling, and most of the time, like it's with a bow. So it's not dangerous for anybody.
And they're in agreement with the landowner. I think it's an accord
Yeah.
with the landowner.
Yeah,
in St.
but
John's.
like I mean, we don't have that problem here yet, but you don't know when it's going to come. So I think by having a bylaw like that, it would really restrict the measure you could take there.
Thank you. Thank you, Denis. To add to his point, I've just put a little note, the last bullet there. Euthanasia, contraceptives, sniper call hunts, which are all things happening in different jurisdictions around us. Right now in Quebec, if you watch the news, a couple of municipalities have a deer problem. I'm not sure if they're using contraceptive or they want to do a cull hunt, but it's really bad press for you guys, because they're saying we could relocate them. New Brunswick needs deer. We don't have much here left. So it becomes a political issue, whether we like it or not, when we have an abundance of something that is not controlled properly. That's just a quick example. From a business perspective, hunting in New Brunswick brings hundreds of millions of dollars, if not $1 billion industry each year. It's a big, the coffers of the province are just taxation on any consumable products we buy as a hunter. It's a great levy for the province for sure. The Conference Board of Canada in 2018 did a national study on hunting, and the numbers are indexed, but basically we spend about $600 million a year in New Brunswick on consumables related to hunting, booking hunts, food, lodging, etc. What they fail to identify in this segment of the study is guys like Denis, where licensed outfitters bring external money to the city. That new $20 bill, especially if it's American, with the exchange right now. I just love to have it come here and spend in Bathurst, right? So we have to look at it in that light as well. Funny thing happened this week. I went to La Boulangerie RJ, at the waterfront, talking with my friend Régis Tillet. And I mentioned to Régis, because I helped him source a gun this year. He passed his hunter head. He's an immigrant. And I mean, Mayor Chamberlain, we'd worked with the Multicultural Association. And I was asking Régis, I said, what's your take on all this? He says, well, I'm out of this Ward 2 delineation. But if I were, and I wouldn't be able to hunt off of my land, I would move. That's what he told me. So it's a little drawing card for sure. We face a demographic crisis. We have some people that are willing to come to the city of Bathurst and the surrounding areas. And I think by refusing certain rights, we're kind of saying, sorry, we're closed for business. I'd like to say we're open for business and view the value added of benefits of allowing hunting around the city of Bathurst in a safe and enjoyable way. Closing, les mots de la fin. Perspective I can bring maybe as to this card or to this table is that I've hunted all over the place, and I've hunted other jurisdictions where I know things are alike or different from us. A few examples I can give you from states and provinces I've hunted before. The SMZ is the Saskatoon Management Zone, population of 275,000 people. The Prairies, Regina Management Zone, 225,000 people living in Regina. They do allow hunting. They have what they call a shotgun zone, which limit the weapons that can be used. And of course, like François mentioned, the distance of these. The Edmonton bow zone, not to be confused with Edmundston, the 5th largest city in Canada, over 1 million in population. That zone is world famous around the world for bow hunters looking for quality whitetail, especially. They have a bow zone. Newfoundland, Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, BC, USA, they all have different types of restrictions, but they're all governed or applied by either the province or the state that they're in. They're not governed by the municipality. Moncton has 175,000 people, St. John's 70,000, Fredericton 60,000. These are our largest city. How many are we in Bathurst? 11,500 before this amalgamation, if I'm right. So that's my point basically, is we are in a very rural area. I think if we can promote a safe hunter, safe relationships with landowners, like François mentioned, there's a lot of places in the city that you cannot hunt anyway. You would be committing an illegal act if you were. Other places, landowners might say, I'm not interested. All the power to you. Post your land red. It's off limits for any hunter wanting to hunt your land, or even yourself as a landowner. You're not allowed. Okay? Provincial laws, like François mentioned, we think the province is better equipped, more staff, more resources, money. I don't think the city wants to get into the business of having to manage all this, especially with this new model. What responsibilities will you have to bear the cost? Hunting promotes a lifestyle that we can use as a drawing card. I know I'm pressed for time here, so we're asking for the repeal of bylaw 2005-16. We think it creates a bias or prejudice against Ward 2 residents for sure, but also existing residents of Bathurst who have places they can safely hunt, here or anywhere in the province for that matter. And you guys have a formidable challenge in front of you trying to make this equitable to all. We would like to thank you for listening to us. And we did get some support letters. Word gets around, it's a tight-knit little group that we are. I got a call from Minister Allen Friday. He says, Paul, what are you up to? I said, I didn't want to get him involved. He says, I'd like to be debriefed on what you're doing with the city of Bathurst. I said, well, here's the gist of it, and he says, I'm writing a letter to support. We have letters, and they're in the envelope there. I'll leave them with council. We have one from the New Brunswick Wildlife Federation. It's the #1 provincial lobby in New Brunswick. If laws are to be changed, they lobby. They're the one at the top. So when Nathalie Michaud, the president, issued a letter for us. We have one from Denis supporting the trapping, the New Brunswick Trappers and Fur Harvesters Federation from Charles Neveu, endorsing support to the local council. Club Arcadie Chala, which I am a co-founder in Nigadoo, a lobby for provincial archers' right. Most of our archers do treaty tournaments across the province. There was one here this weekend. They don't know of any of these laws anywhere else. Deer New Brunswick is one that, like Denise says, with the dispersion of deer right now, there's a challenge in the province, so they're becoming the deer lobby, so to say, for the province. Legal right, fairness to all, that's the body of their letter of support. GMZ Archery Shop from Memramcook, Merchant's Perspective, the same with Pro Nature. They have 4 businesses, and I think it's Miramichi, Bathurst, Tracadie, and Campbellton. They don't know of anywhere else that limits or restricts hunting, so it's certainly bad for business for them. And the Big Game Club, which on a provincial perspective, the heritage part. So we'll leave those with council, and we would like to thank you for allowing us to be heard. And if you have any questions and concerns and comments, we'd be glad to address them.
Perfect. Merci beaucoup pour votre présentation.
Merci.
Before we go to the mic, the New Brunswick Fish and Wildlife Act is a very good act. And this, when the emails came in a couple of weeks ago that you wanted to come in and present, I was quite happy about it because, you know, they already have these regulations in place. And if we look at a city like Bathurst, Fredericton, Moncton, St. John, I think there's very few, I don't even think I can count in one hand how many cities have this bylaw. So I really want council to take this in. I really don't think there's a need for us to have that bylaw in place because we can follow the act like everybody else. Of course, there would be some education to be done to make sure. Yeah, so that's my perspective on it. I certainly believe that there's an opportunity here for us to make that change. Deputy Mayor Anderson has a question or comment?
Well, you kind of touched on it actually, 'cause I was just curious to know if there was other cities, not towns or villages, if there was other cities within the province that has a bylaw similar to this.
No, I was in Fredericton last week and no, they all follow the New Brunswick Fish and Wildlife Act.
There's 63 years, I think, if my math is correct, of employment at DNR. And Denis, as early as last week, was still looking for that answer. So I think we have our answer. Not being able to find a definite answer to that question begs the question if there are bylaws. I'm sure there probably is 1 or 2 municipalities, but are they enforced? I don't think they're enforced. Are they enforceable? I don't think they're enforceable as well. Do provincial laws trump municipal laws?
Well, that's another question,
Yeah.
because provincial
Legal
does trump
aspects.
provincial does typically trump municipal.
I think so.
One example I can provide as a hunter is I know people, even this fall, hunted in the basin. And I was asking Denis, I said, you know, why is this possible? It's shotgun, so the range is 200 meters. And there's a couple of islands there, I guess, that have been designated federal. And you can see on our maps, if I go back real quick, I don't know if the resolution is big enough, but I think you can see them. They're white. Why is that? Because they're under federal govern, I guess. But if that trumps municipal law, the Fish and Wildlife Act as well. So the 400 meter, the 300 meter, the 200, the 100 meter should prevail. All we're saying is that, and I know some landowners within the city of Bathurst that like hunting, it's part of their heritage. They would, you know, myself as a landowner, I've invested money in purchasing land, and I have option to purchase more. We have a playground of about 10,000 acres back in North Teddybush where everybody kind of manages for game, and I let people hunt and fish my land. I don't post it. and I enjoy it myself. I surely wouldn't want to be prescribed this bylaw. So,
Well, I wasn't aware personally that the act existed with, with the 200, 100, 300 meters within the city limits. I wasn't aware that that even existed, so this was very educational for me, so thank you for that. Yeah, I think it's something that we're definitely gonna have to look into. I know there's coyotes on my street, and I live off of Riverside Drive.
yeah.
I'm like right next to the basin, and I have coyotes on my street this last week all the time.
The dispersion model of deer, I would, if you look at clear cutting practices and monoculture that we have now, we used to call them DWAs. We have cedar swales on our crown land that have been completely cut over, like they're gone. So the deer migrate to mixed boreal forests. They have a tree diameter of at least 8 to 11 inches that provides canopy when there's heavy snows. The burn method of measuring snow depth. What's 30 some inches? The guy from Maine there. I think it's over 40 inches of snow depth. The deer are really in problematic or dire situation to survive the winter. So where can you find a shelter belt like that in New Brunswick? Look coastal around the province. It is a phenomenon. So we have that dispersion model. The coyotes prey on deer, especially on yarded deer in the wintertime. Very hard for a coyote to catch a deer. Bears prey on fawn when it's fawning season. We have lots of bears in the city of Bathurst. These guys put out these cages for relocation, and I was told, not by one of them, I'm not going to quote a name, but he said, if I pick up a bear in Parkwood Heights and I drive up South Teddygush, in 2 days he's back in Parkwood Heights.
Yeah, exactly, he is, yeah.
That's what he told me.
Yeah.
They
Well,
can travel.
you can see why the animals are coming into town, because like you said, with the clear cutting that's going on and everything else that's going on Crown land, you can understand why the animals are migrating to the city.
Yeah.
And there's gotta be something done about that to try to get the animals out of the city. But, I'm with the mayor on this, cause initially when I first heard you were coming in, I thought, my honest opinion initially was, are they crazy? We're not gonna start shooting off guns in the city. That's exactly what I said, but like I said, this was very educational for me, because
Yeah.
I did not realize that this act existed.
Yeah.
And that it was so clear-cut stipulated as to what type of weapon you can use and
It
the
dictates,
range,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm very happy that you came in with this.
I think, I don't want to be quoted, Denis could confer, but the city of Quispamsis came up with their own municipal bylaw to save discharge a bow within 50 meters in some areas. Because like he said, they're stuck with a big problem there. And Denis was mentioning to me last week, it could happen here. Global warming, we get a few good winters, deer explode.
Yeah.
What do? I'd prefer we give out hunting opportunities to manage instead of calling in cull hunts and stuff like that, which is bad press for everybody.
What does that mean, cull hunt?
Cull hunts is really, they're coming in and they're just sniper shooting everything.
Oh, yeah, I don't agree with that.
No.
Yeah, they're doing it in different city. I think like they're thinking about doing it in Longueuil in Quebec.
In Quebec, yeah.
Truro, Nova Scotia. They're really
Really?
thinking about just doing a call. But I'd like to add something about trapping. I know, like, even if you remove the city bylaw, it will probably not solve all the problem there, but it will certainly help. But, like, we take statistic for the last 50 years on trapping, and trapping goes and fluctuate with the number of people that go trap or the intensity they trap with the price of fur. And when the price of fur is high, usually people put a lot of trap out, and they trap a lot of animal. So in the last few years, the trap of, like the coyote pelt were really high there, and the trapper were targeting the coyote there. So the population had dropped quite a bit, but in the last couple years, the price went down again. So the trappers are not trapping so much. And because the price of gas is so high, now it's not really worth it for a trapper to go upriver, so they prefer to trap close, like to the community, because you don't want to spend too much on gas. So if you give them the opportunity to trap where they could, like within urban area, it will certainly help, for sure.
Interesting.
Good. All right, so we're lit up. Don't go anywhere. We're lit up all over the place on this side. Councillor Burnett.
Thanks,
This is an
Madam Mayor.
interesting topic.
Can we get a copy of this presentation? I wouldn't mind having a copy of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
okay.
problem. We're going to send everybody a copy.
Thank you. The other thing that we haven't mentioned is that with the deer population being what it is, I've had friends that have run into deer in East Bathurst and Yaw Hall Drive and down in Teddygush Bridge, and they've lost their vehicles and in these crashes. And now, I don't know if you realize, but maybe Mr. Scary or Councilor Scary could tell us how long it takes to get a vehicle. And my neighbor's friend took him months to replace a vehicle that was wiped out by a deer. And the chance of hurting some people is real. So I think we should look at this seriously, but it's not something you can just say scratch because I say scratch or this
No,
bylaw.
we'll have to
It has
sit
to be
down.
done properly.
Yeah.
And we have a lawyer now, and
Yep.
we have a management team that's a good team.
Yep.
And we have the background provided by these gentlemen tonight, and there's probably other background that we should look into. But I think we should get at it,
Yep.
because we are now a bigger municipality, up to 14.8, with a lot of wooded areas that has been joined into our city. So I think rather than drag our feet on this, we should move on it as soon as possible, please.
Exactly.
Thank
Councillor Hondas?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Arsenault, and your colleagues for your presentation. I am a hunter also. I agree with what you're saying for the most part, but we have to be careful here as a municipality, just in case something would happen, an accident, or, you know, if you look in Parkwood Heights now, the houses are built next to each other, and they by nobody's fault, but somebody tries to kill a bear and something goes wrong. You know, you have to look at that too. Or if somebody's trapping and they trap little Johnny's favorite dog, you know, somebody's going to get repercussions out of it. We have work to do on this. I don't think it can be done. I think it can be done, but it can't be done overnight. So I hope you can be patient with us, because I don't feel that we should abolish it, because I'm going to take the four-wheeler. We allowed them on the road from East Bathurst to the motel in front of here, but then again, you get people that are driving down Dumaret Street, you get people going down King Avenue. So there's always some bad seeds that will take this a little too far. And that's what scares me about just saying no to this.
I totally agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
so, but I think our city, and as Councillor Burnett said earlier, we have a good team now. Our council's educated. Your education tonight really helped. And I think we can come up with a satisfactory alternative to what we have now, for sure. Because I enjoy my moose hunting. I don't get my moose every year, but I go when I get it, and I just love it. I love bird hunting. I get my four-wheeler and I go. I don't have the opportunities that you have, that have 10 acres of land in the outskirts of town. I live in Clearwater Avenue, and there's houses right next to me. So for me to take out my gun one morning and shoot a partridge, I know there's going to be repercussions. My neighbors aren't going to be happy because I have to woke them up. But I think if we work at this and we do it right, I think there's definitely something we can do. And as Councilor Burnett said, once again, is we have a team in place now that we can get this done. But it's not going to be done overnight, because you have to remember with this amalgamation sort of rezoning that we have, it's all new for us also.
Yep.
Like, I was aware of the act, but like question I had for you is that, you know, what do you have now? You can go out and you can hunt on your land right now, provincial?
As long as I respect these buffers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the
you know,
400 meters, 300 meters, you have to follow.
Yeah.
If you have it in the back of your house on your land, you can.
I
Yeah.
totally get your dilemma, because the bylaw in itself creates this ironclad safety zone around Bathurst. So if it's lifted tomorrow morning and all hell breaks loose, pardon the
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
expression,
lot of education.
there's
Yeah.
awareness. So I'll
Yeah.
give you a quick
So-
example. We have a coyote problem right now
Yeah.
in North Teddygush where I reside, and on my woodlot, there's a huge deer yard every year. It's getting bigger and bigger in numbers by the year. Why? Because most of the deer migrate down from the Teddygush River. And like Denis mentioned, they seek special canopy forested areas. My woodlot offers that to deer for 2-3 months of the year. We've had some urban developments in the city of Bathurst, a new car dealership. We have the Pabineau First Nation doing their strip mall at the old Holtzcamp Cedarswale. Those are all urban forests that are gone. So the deer, instead of migrating down with the snow depth accumulating, And coming to Bathurst, I know there's about 30 right now, right in the basin. There used to be way more than that 5, 6 years ago. They're all back at my place. So right now we have a coyote problem, and I put out signs. I don't have to, it's not law, but I put out signs, and we did some snaring for coyote for predation control. And I told my neighbors, if you come up to these signs, keep your dog on a leash. It's law. I'm respecting the law. They have to respect the law. So there's a big awareness
Yeah.
for cohabitation. So I think we can make it work. It just needs to be,
Yeah, and I think for
Well
us
brought
as
up.
city owners and landowners, we have to be preventive of it too, and then, make sure you tie your garbage cans, and like bears keep coming back because we love to eat in Bathurst, and I think that's why they keep coming to our garbage, because we have good food. So we have to make sure that our bins are properly secured, and then to at least get that out. Like raccoons, you were saying, I have a family of raccoons living under my shed right now, and mom and I think 3 or 4 small ones there, so it's cute, but they know what damage they can cause, and.
we all have to
Yeah.
be responsible,
Yeah.
like you say.
Exactly.
Okay, Councillor Branch.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you for your presentation. I'm also a resident of Ward 2. Full disclosure, though, I'm a non-hunter.
Okay, No, that's perfectly fine.
But I have to say, when I look at the act, like, there's definitely redundancy in the act. And you could even make an argument, when you look at the definition of hunting, like, that would even forbid people from bird watching or photography, because you're, stalking or laying in wait. It's open to interpretation, right?
It's an extensive definition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess the thing that I'm curious about, how effective is the province in enforcing violations of the NB Fish and Wildlife Act? Like if somebody's not respecting homeowners' posted land or that type of thing?
Good question.
Every fall, and there's stats that are available out there. For example, people in the Doketown area around Sussex, where there's more deer in the fall, we have a lot of reports of people shooting deer too close to homes. That's what keeps the conservation officers busy in those areas, because there's obviously deer hunting in those zones, where in Zone 5 in North Tetigouche, it's a closed zone, you're not allowed to hunt deer. But this is just one example, but definitely there's other sorts of hunting going on. Near the Beldoon School, that we had an issue with people hunting geese too close to homes, too close to the school. Conservation officers are out there. If the public is aware and makes us aware, and they report, they call, all of these things, conservation officers will respond to them, and they are quite busy responding to a lot of those complaints about people hunting too close to homes or trapping too close to homes.
Yeah, so they're busy responding to complaints, but how effective are they in,
People are being charged, they're getting $1,000 fines, they're spending 7 days in jail, they're losing their guns.
I would say that's effective. Thank you very much.
There you go.
All right, so I'm just going to go to Mr. Pettigrew to kind of say final words. I'm sorry, I'm whispering, because I'm asking questions at the same time, too, to see if he knew. He knew my answer before I asked
If I
it.
may, real quick,
Yeah,
to
go
address
ahead.
Mr. Branch's concern, to me, I'm a businessman, so it's all about the business case.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have the rule of law, the provincial law, that they applied, and there's enforcement and consequences, and dire consequences, especially when it comes to big game. You're talking about jail, stiff fine penalties, and they're trained, staffed, and they have the provincial budget to deal with these issues. I'm not saying the city of Bathurst doesn't have this budget, but if we keep expanding, and if we annex Little River up to Canopy, like, who knows, right? The business model here could grow. It becomes a large territory to manage and to enforce. The province already has that in place.
Yes, you may, Councillor Branch.
Yeah, no, I'm actually on your side on this, and
Thank you.
same thing, business case, right? Like I see a business case for it, and I was just asking the question more or less to, so residents' fears could be addressed,
Yeah.
right? I was just giving you the opportunity to do that, because yeah, looking at it, like I feel there's redundancy built into the bylaw, and I don't know if we need it. I know we have to review it, and we have to put serious thought into it, and I have to say, I do have some reservations about the trapping aspect.
Yep.
But, no, I'm very open to it.
All right, so Councillor LeBlanc, just lead up before I go to Mr. Pettigrew.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. Does that bylaw automatically apply to Ward 2?
Well, actually, let me go to Mr. Pettigrew, because I just asked him that question.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Yeah.
Initially it did, but there were some amendments made in November that all new bylaws do not take effect into the new area, so no city bylaws, not just the hunting one. What happens is the city has to review it and enact it and allow it to happen, so none of our bylaws apply to the new annexed Ward 2. So that was one important thing, and I think it was important that I mentioned tonight for the current landowners or residents of Ward 2, it doesn't apply, our current bylaw does not apply to them. And also, if it's a consensus, I kind of hear a consensus of council, if the direction is for staff to provide a report, to come back and bring back to council with some recommendations. If that's the case, I will move forward with staff, and I'll probably be in some discussions with these gentlemen to follow up on some information, especially on the enforcement side, to ensure we look at that, and definitely our solicitor will have some questions on that side, so.
Yeah. Yes, please. Okay, so that's the question I was asking, is, does it enforce the new zone, the Ward 2 right away? And he said no. So, which is good. I can actually tell my brother in Big River, you can go in the back of your house, because he called me. I said, don't do nothing until I tell you otherwise. Don't get me in trouble. So.
Mathieu Trudel sent me a messenger, just a little post before coming here. He really wanted to be with us tonight. He's in Shediac for work obligations. And my ear's buzzing right now because he's watching live or will be watching this. And his comment would be, what about me? He lives in Bathurst. He just came in as a new resident of our beautiful city. And he's not allowed to hunt or fish on maybe 60 acres of land while I can in North Edigouche. It creates bias. You guys have a challenge in front of you.
Yeah.
For
now, we'd have to say no, because
Yeah,
it's in
for
the
sure. Yeah.
bylaws, but as we said, we will definitely, it's one of the files that
Yeah,
was a big interest for me, and we are definitely going to move forward and come back and then invite you to join our city solicitor to see and make some changes.
we thank you for your time, and
Thank you.
we will make ourselves available if you need some more information from us. And we had some discussions with some members of council before the meeting and Mayor Chamberlain about other issues that have to be looked at.
Yeah.
You have a job in front of you, like it's monumental. We want some bylaws that are existing in Bathurst right now, which we don't have in, for example, noise bylaw, fireworks. If North Edigouche goes, I used to be involved with the local services district. 10 years ago, we had a 44 million assiette fiscale, fiscal base. It's a lot of money if we become the next Lytton, BC, for example. With global warming, it's stuff we have to look at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Merci beaucoup.
De rien. Merci. On va vous laisser une copie de... J'ai amené une copie du livre, le dernier livre qu'on a fait. Je sais
Oui.
que la 4e édition est à la bibliothèque, si je ne me trompe pas.
Oui, et vous avez une enveloppe aussi, hein, avec les...
Oui, avec les
oui.
lettres de support. On va vous laisser
Parfait,
ça.
oui, s'il vous plaît.
Puis on va vous laisser continuer vos proceedings.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Merci.
Je vais laisser celui-ci.
Merci, Madame Nolan. Bon. We have an upcoming presentation for activities that's going to be happening soon. So Jacob Button has some good, feel-good activities coming up.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here amongst you all, and yeah, it's exactly right. So we're just going to go over a couple things that we've been working on over at Recreation and Tourism. So some of you may have seen now the Snow Festival. We're trying to bring that back. So that was a festival that was pre-pandemic, and from what I understand, it was a very successful festival. Which, the whole idea is it's bringing community together. So really wanted to focus on that again. So I wanted to create a festival for the community that's being run by the community. So we reached out to a lot of local organizations and different different businesses that we thought, that either were participated in the past or we felt that may want to be part of this and going forward. So leading up to it, in one of the little images here, I had a little photo competition that ran from January 7th. It just finished this past week, February 7th. And the idea was getting out there, getting active, just all you have to do, take a picture of yourself doing something outside in our community, and then tell something else that you want to do. I was really blown away by the response. I think it was over 5,000, what they call on Facebook, reach. So that means anything from, eyes on that post. And it was over 5,000 people that, saw this. It was shared, 40 times, 50 times, something like that. And we had 39 people actually post a photo. So that was really great. And already we saw the Facebook page was getting a lot more attention. And then also just on here, just the other little one is we had some fat bike clinics. So just this past weekend, yesterday, on the 12th, we had 2 fat bike clinics, and then we have another set of fat bike clinics on the 26th of February. So those are women and girls clinics and then a mixed clinic. So intro to fat biking, and it was really nice to see those fill up. Both the ones yesterday as well as the ones coming up are pretty much full. So that's nice to see, lots of people, getting out there, using the trails and all that. But it all kind of leads into this, getting out there, doing stuff in your community. And just to reference the last image on there, if you're wondering, that was what that form looked like that we had sent out to all of the organizations in the community. It was a Microsoft form. Anyone could submit, what the details were for the event that you wanted to run, what you wanted us to say, and then in all of our promotion, we would talk about that. You're going to offer hot chocolate. We'll make sure to put that in there for you. So early January, I sat down with some of my fellow colleagues around the city. So Lisa Noel from Daily Point, Pauline Armstrong from Waterfront, and Catherine Lontang from the downtown Bathurst revitalization. And they were all on board, very gung-ho to be a part of it, and all had really good ideas of, what they wanted to do specifically maybe in their area or, their expertise and help promote. So I know there's a lot of words on here, but just a little overview. There'll be some things at Daily Point, so yoga, snowshoe rally, story time walks, things like that. So that'll be all weekend long. Waterfront, there'll be outdoor stories with the public library, a winter event on the actual family day on the 20th of February. We have a Kinsey building from 4 Directions that's going to be going up. And then downtown Bathurst, we have a downtown bar hop. There's a block party, so Main Street block party. There's actually a snow sculpture. You may have seen that being started actually right on the corner there, so that's exciting. The museum open house, the aquatic center's having a pizza party, and at the Casey Irving family skate party, free skate. There's Maximus's birthday party at the Titan game, and then various trails around, like the Coronation Park Snow Bear Winter Carnival is taking place on Saturday, and then fat bike, free fat biking, sliding party at the College Hill, which was held in the past as well. So just to give you kind of an idea of the different areas around town and different some of those different partnerships there. I know this slide might look like a lot, but it's because the original post, if you have seen online, it's quite a large, it's a legal size piece of paper to fit all the events in. So I tried to break it up on this slide for you a little bit, but that is somewhat the breakdown of the weekend. So we really wanted to focus on different activities that would accommodate young families, young people, older people, people that wanted to be doing things more active outside or maybe something more inside. So I think we got a good fair share of that, whether you're going to be outside in the cold or in listening to a story or checking out the library. We hope there's a good variety of stuff there. And again, the nice thing of this partnership is we're seeing a lot of these organizations, everyone is working together to make this event possible. It's not like one specific department or one individual is trying to make all of these things go on. So that's really nice to see as well, that partnership just with everyone. This is just a breakdown of each day there, but I really don't need to go through all of this. I know all of you, or I'm sure a lot of you have checked out the Facebook page or seen the event on the Facebook. Or perhaps the billboard downtown, the billboard there, we have a sign as well. The local radio, we do have ads on radio this week. But really the kind of fun thing that I want to get to here, again, these are all of the days and what's going on, but, and these are just to show you some of the images of the Facebook pages and whatnot that are going around on Facebook. But what I just wanted to get to just on the back here was the actual post reach and those results from Facebook. So just in the past 28 days, we've had 24,000 post reach, what they call that. So people that have specifically seen your post in some way. And then post engagement, so that would be everything from likes, reactions, shares, things like that. We're a little over 7,000 at this point, so that's exciting. That means a lot of people are sharing that information. Lots of new followers, so that's specifically new people maybe that have moved to the area, or maybe people that are in the surrounding area that, oh wow, we're hearing stuff going on in Bathurst, that have decided to start following the page. But ultimately, the hype is very much out there. We were added to a few of the tourism chaleur and different social media that kind of spread awareness around the province as well. So it should be a very exciting weekend coming up. And yeah, we hope to see a lot of you out there. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for me today.
Thank you so much. So do we have this, Mr. Pettigrew, is this on our city's Facebook page, especially with all the dates of everything that's happening?
It was shared. I know it was shared the other day.
It was shared the other day, okay, because it would be really nice to have that on the city's Facebook page.
Yep.
And not just saying the Snow Fest, but to have an actual breakdown of each day, what activity is being done. Mr. Flem?
Yes, I can state that it does have presence on our Facebook page, as well as we are pushing it on our website as well. So the open web platform where everybody can have access to it as well. So that's in circulation as well, and that content is being pushed, like Jacob said, on the billboard as well. So it is circulating.
Okay. Do you know when it was posted on our Facebook page?
Oh God, mid of last week, I believe. Okay. I know that Jean-Sébastien was working with Jacob on that matter.
Yeah. Could we do a refresh for this week since it's happening this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely.
On the city's Facebook? Perfect. It's on there? Okay, good. All right. When is it last dated, Mr. Pettigrew? You just looked at it quickly? Okay. As long as we do a refresh this week, and then I'll be, as many of us possible, telling people to go look at the page. We are lit up a little bit everywhere. Councillor Willett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thanks for your presentation. It's nice to see this back again. And what's really nice is to see that it's all over the city. It's
Yeah.
not just one area. It's all over the place. And probably another suggestion is put it up on our bulletin board. We know it's a long page, but every day, the activities for that day, if it's on our electronic bulletin board, going across the bridge, at least people will be able to see it. So,
Good. Perfect.
thanks.
Yeah.
Councillor LeBlanc. Conseil LeBlanc.
Excuse me, Councillor Burnett, kind of had me laughing there. Thank you. Seriously, I am so happy to see this back this year. That got me so excited. I was curious, well, Councillor Willett and everyone kind of answered some of my questions there. But I would love this in the future, to have a sign when you're driving into Bathurst and you're not from here, to know that this festival's happening. Almost like you see in the movie, the big sign, Snow Bear Festival, everything we can to get this out there, as it is fun. It really is a fun activity, and as you can see, everyone in the city, all the businesses are participating. And I'd invite all the citizens, I know a lot of you have, and thank you, but continue sharing this on Facebook and pushing it out there so everyone knows this is this weekend coming. So we got to get this out there now. Everyone has to be aware of this. It's fun. Thank you for your efforts. I know there's a lot of effort put into this, and thank you to everyone who is a part of it. It's awesome.
Yes, it is. And I agree with what's being said. It's, you know, and then for something like that, because especially in the winter, right? Families are trying to find activities and then, you know, it's Stats Day on, Family Day on Monday. So when you promote stuff like that and you know we're gonna have it every year, like hospitality days and whatnot, we try to push that now that we're not pretending the pandemic did not exist and there's still not any cases, but we've decided to move forward. And it's exciting to see how much is going to be happening in the next 4 days. So, and that's because of you and your team and everybody else and the volunteers that are willing to work with it. So, good job.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
on that note too, if there are other, I don't know if people are watching or whatever, but if there are other community groups or whatever that, you know, you guys are speaking with that haven't sent me their information and want to be added, I can add them to the community calendar of events. So for sure, send that over. I said the deadline was February 10th, but that's okay. This was unexpected. I was coming here. This is great publicity for it. So
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, our next points are with our new city clerk. You've got the mic.
All right, so item 3.1, demande de parrainage des Bathurst Bears. Nous avons reçu une demande de parrainage de la part des Bathurst Bears, comme vous l'avez vu dans votre paquet de l'ordre du jour. Il y a 3 forfaits, puis il y a aussi des tables corporatives, si c'est quelque chose qu'on voudrait participer, je laisse à vous autres à décider, puis on peut l'amener la semaine prochaine.
Est-ce qu'il y a des questions? As-tu des questions sur... Councillor Anderson, or Deputy Mayor Anderson?
Just a question, Amy, because I can't remember, there was like the gold, silver, platinum, or so, or
So there's bronze for 500, gold for 1,000, and then platinum for 2,000, and then you're looking at the corporative tables for 5,200.
do we know how many games are being played here?
Good
I
question.
mean, it's a very short season. I think it's a 3-month, 3.5-month season.
10 or 11 games.
10 or 11 home games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's certainly something to look about.
I'm not against sponsorship for sure. It's just, you know, at what level that we're going to go with. Okay, that's all I needed to
Right.
know.
Perfect. So if council can give me some suggestions or whatnot, and then we'll move forward with that, and then we'll come back to next week and go with the sponsorships. All right? Next point.
So item 3.2, grant recommendations received from committee. So the grant committee this year consisted of Councillor Willett, Councillor Scarry, and Councillor LeBlanc. Here's an overview of what was decided and what will be brought to the next regular public meeting to be ratified, which is next Monday, if we are all in agreement. So there was a copy of this in your handout, but it has changed a slight bit. I can send out an updated copy. So we have Bathurst Advisory Committee for Persons with Disabilities, $500. Bathurst Arts Society, $5,000. Bathurst Curling Club, $600. Bathurst Heritage Museum, $12,000. Bathurst Minor Hockey Association, because they do receive the rink time, we're going with that. So they did have a savings of $26,705. Bathurst Music Festival 2023, $2,000, $1,500 as a donation, and $500 for purchase of tickets. Centre GMC Chaleur Bathurst, same thing, $2,000, $1,500 as donations, $500 for tickets. Chaleur Regional Hospital Foundation, $1,000. Tennis Chaleur, so this is conditional to funding from RDC, so depending on the amount that they give, it would be either $60,000 or $70,000. Doucet Hennessy House, $2,500. Fondation Marichette, $1,000. Multicultural Association Chaleur Region Inc., $5,000. Nipisiguit Micmac Trail, $2,400 or in kind. Orchestra Stella, $2,500, conditional that they do host the concert in Bathurst in 2023. Royal Canadian Legion, $500. Sistema project, 5,000, and then we have our reoccurring grants, which would be the ESN and BHS scholarships, 2 bursaries of 500, 1 going to a child, grandchild, or legal ward of a city employee, and 1 being awarded to a student residing in the city limits. And then we have the Medical Education Foundation, which started last year for 10,400.
All right, does council have any questions? I do have one. So for the Fondation Hôpital Région Chaleur, what was the $1,000 for? What was their request?
I will have to get back to you on that. I don't have it with me here.
Okay, all right. People sitting around the committee, do you know? Yeah. Okay, it doesn't say in the letter what they were using it for? No? Okay, I was just
I
curious.
can't go by memory.
Okay. What do you mean you can't go by memory? Deputy Mayor Anderson.
I have some issues with some of the amounts
Okay,
being.
that's what we're here for, committee of a whole.
First of all, how much money is left over? And what did we start with, 60?
It was 125.
Oh,
yeah.
And we have, depending on the Chaleur tennis, it would be 25 or 35 left.
So we still have quite a bit left.
And what did you say regarding Bathurst minor hockey?
So Bathurst minor hockey right now, they get rink time
Yep,
at a discounted rate.
Yes.
So they do get the savings in that rink time.
right.
And based on what they've been using, they've received 26,705 and 16 cents in rink time.
For 1
In
year?
savings, yeah.
For 1 year.
So
Okay.
basically in a nutshell, you're saying we're not gonna give them a grant because they're getting the reduced fee for the ice time. Okay, that's what I was confused with that, okay.
Any other questions? Because we're going to be passing this next week.
$60,000 to $70,000 to the tennis club?
Remember we had a presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's our tennis club here. It's a huge, I mean, there's hundreds of people in that club and it's being used. Our tennis courts are in really bad shape. And the money will not go to them, it will go to fix our tennis courts. It's to do the repairs and fixing. Remember they did a presentation?
Okay, see, and that's where
Yeah.
we need clarification,
Yeah.
because if we're saying we're gonna give $60,000 to $70,000 to the Chaleur Tennis Club, I have a huge issue with that.
Yeah, the money goes towards fixing
We own.
Yes, and we're gonna fix it. Dave came to us and did a request for us to spend that money to fix it, so
But
it
how-
wouldn't go to them.
But, okay, but can we take that out of grant money to fix, basically one of our facilities? Like, I have an issue with this here, how this is done.
Mr. Pettigrew?
Yeah, the request is, so, I mean, it is through the tennis club requesting the 100,000 for repairs. You know, there's either you can give the 100,000 to them.
No.
No, I'm just saying for that repair through the cost of reimburse or whatever, however they go through the application. But we're gonna try to fund it through RDC so we can get 30% of that costed. With the combination with the Chaleur Tennis Club and RDC and Bathurst, we could get 30 to 40% covered.
I get that if the city's gonna apply with RDC.
With a partnership with the two, with the associate, with the club
With
as well.
them.
But I mean, there are facilities. The facility does not belong to the Chaleur Tennis Club.
The facility belongs to the province of New Brunswick and we have usage of it from
The province owns the tennis courts?
It's through the ESN tennis courts where we have the sole ownership. It's the agreement when they built the Jeux de l'Acadie for the infrastructure.
Yes.
So there's agreements in place for usage of it, but we're responsible for all maintenance, all infrastructure. But we have agreements from the province allowing us to access and use the facilities.
They're allowing us to use the facility as long as we pay to maintain the upkeep on it.
That was the agreement of funding when we built it, when we built those infrastructure, yes.
Okay, but it still does not belong to the Chaleur Tennis Club.
No,
So,
belongs to city.
so I have an issue with this here.
Well, this can easily, what we can do with this is that especially if we're gonna do a partnership with them and then we're gonna apply for funding, if they have the money to pay for it and then we'll pay the invoice, sure. But, you know, if not, then we're going to go contract it out and fix the turf.
But can we pay for it through our grants?
It's a fully discretionary fund of council, what they want to do with that money. council has full discretion. This is discretionary funds that they can determine to do what they want with these funds.
Yeah.
I'd just like to look into this one a little more this week before next Monday.
Yep, no problem. Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. Next item.
Item 3.3, mise à jour de la subvention pour couches lavables. Pour l'année 2022, nous avons reçu 3 demandes de subvention de couches lavables pour un total de 450 $. Depuis le début du programme, nous avons reçu 20 demandes pour un grand total de 2 787,25 $. C'est encore disponible. S'il y a quelqu'un intéressé à faire une demande pour cette subvention, vous pouvez retrouver l'information sur le site web de Bathurst, bathurst.ca, sous la politique P2019-03, subvention pour couches lavables pour les résidents de la ville de Bathurst.
So washable diapers, it's still in play, and for anybody that's interested, there is funds available and that you can qualify. You just have to go on the city's website. Okay?
Item 3.4, Aquatic Center Commission, proposal of new members. So due to some vacancies on the Aquatic Commission, the City of Bathurst put out a request searching for anyone who was interested. To date, we have received 4 applications. So I'll just give you a brief overview of who these people are. So we have Joanie Chalifour. Ms. Chalifour is a registered social worker with the Community Mental Health Center for the City of Bathurst. She's a current user of the Aquatic Center with her daughter, and she prides herself in being involved in associations and causes that are important to her. Danielle Doucette. Mr. Doucette is currently the principal of Parkwood Heights Elementary School and has worked in the aquatics with the Canadian Red Cross and Life Saving Society for over 25 years. He's also worked in several pools in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Ottawa, and he has a vast knowledge of pool operations. Andrew Taylor. Mr. Taylor is a chartered professional accountant and has over 15 years' experience in financial reporting, budgeting, insurance, and risk management. He has been part of the Kidney Cancer Canada Board and Central Valley Adult Learning, and he has young children who also participate at the pool. And our last applicant was Véronique Proux. Ms. Proux is new to the area and currently works for the Regional Service Commission as planning director. She has 10 years of synchronized swimming and was a swimming instructor and lifeguard. She's also been part of the Rimouski Running Club.
All right, those are really good, yeah. Well, all right. Councillor LeBlanc?
Yeah, just a quick question on that, though. So those are all residents of the city? Because I think right now that's what we have to start with, right?
Yeah.
According to the bylaws of the charter, I guess.
I think one of them
commissions?
is not resident of the city. 3
Yeah,
are.
So I think under the commission right now, they'd have to change that to accept people from which we want, but unfortunately we can't.
Yeah, we'll look
Right.
into it.
Okay.
Look into it and get back to you. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mayor and members of council update. So Coronation Park Committee, Deputy Mayor Anderson.
Thank you, Your Worship. For me, well, Jacob mentioned it, talking about the Snow Bear Festival this upcoming weekend at Coronation Park. It runs from 12 until 4 on Saturday. There's going to be lots of outdoor activities for the kids. I think there's going to be some indoors, and we've actually started to put in an ice surface to have a place for them to skate.
Oh, my goodness, okay.
I'm just a little worried about the weather because it's supposed to be 8 degrees later on this week. Not conducive to a rink, but we're trying. I want people to know we're trying to have a nice surface out there for people on Saturday. So it's always, we've been running this event for years. Of course, we missed a couple of years during the pandemic, but it's always, it's always been a very busy event. The kids have always loved it. So 12 to 4 on Saturday at Coronation Park, and registration will be inside BHS in the St. John Street entrance.
Perfect. Any questions? No? Good. All right, so we have our next one with Daily Point, Conseiller Leblanc.
Merci, Madame la Mairesse. Right, well, first of all, as you, I'd like to share a little bit of information of what has been and what will be happening at our lovely Daly Point Reserve, I should say. As you may or may not know, well, Jacob said it earlier, we have a new director that we hired back in August of 2022 for Daly Point. Her name's Lisa Noel. Lisa was raised going to the reserve and has a true passion for nature and environmental preservation. She has a teaching background, and she puts all her knowledge to good use, especially when groups of children come for guided educational tours. Since entering the role, she's run several activities and brought even more life to this thriving ecosystem. From August to December, she managed to hold 8 different events, such as foraging for beginners, haunted trails, family Halloween, winter solstice, and other activities, of course. Lisa's had 9 different school visits, visit the site, and some of them have visited multiple times at that, just since she's been there. There's now 20 different activities already prepared for 2023, as some you already saw during the Jacob's presentation for the Snow Fest. And she's putting these together by working closely with many connections from the downtown core, Four Directions, the SPCA, Ducks Unlimited, and really just people from all over the eastern regions. So, you know, she's really working hard to also revamp some of the current events and projects. And she's already has been looking into different funding streams for future events and funding for Daly Point. Lisa's just been doing a phenomenal job, seriously, since she's been there already. It's unbelievable. I was so awestruck when I saw everything that she showed me that she's already, you know, doing and has planned for this year. And I think it's imperative also that I mention how well the trails are being maintained under her supervision from people that are going there and the comments that we're getting. And speaking of the trail maintenance, again, our wonderful citizens, I'd really like to highlight the work of Mr. Chris Daly, who, by the way, generously donates his time to groom the trails. So this is, again, one of our citizens showing his or her generosity and really showing how much they appreciate and care for this region. Right? So I just want to congratulate everyone who was involved with the Daly Point and the vision they have, which is really fun to see that the vision the city has and the person who is there now and the people who are involved, they're really coming together. So I'd say for citizens, if anyone would like to be aware of more of the upcoming events at Daly Point, they can always go on the Daly Point Facebook page or reach out to us here at the city or on the city website. It's really interesting, and take advantage of this lovely, lovely space that we have in our city.
Yeah, Daly Point is one of our nice gems. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Conseiller Leblanc. Just quickly, I'm going to go back to Bathurst Bears before we finish. So I want to, with true transparency, I said I'll send an email, but I really want us to have a discussion on this. So the sponsorship that we have, so bronze 500, platinum 1,000, and gold 1,000 and platinum 2,000. Are there any suggestions out there? I think that we should have a sponsorship with them because they are paying for all the services that they have with us. They'll be paying for the facility, so I think we can go back and sponsor in return. And I want feedback from council in what do you agree? Do you think 500, 1,000, 2,000? I would go 2, but Councillor LeBlanc?
Might as well speak again. I'd go for a table.
I'd love a table too.
I think the table
We'll have to
idea.
see,
I mean,
we'll
I
have to
already
talk
got
to
my
Madame
tickets.
Gomez, see if we have the budget.
It's not personal, but because it's not for me. I already have my season tickets, and my whole family does. But certainly would, I think, or at least a 2,000 platinum.
Okay, all right. Councillor Burnett?
2,000.
1,000, okay. Councillor Hondas?
I'd agree with 2,000. Just question, is there any in-kind from us coming there somewhere? Is there?
No, they pay for everything.
Then I'm okay with 2,000.
Not a drop of in-kind. All right. looking at this way. Mr. Pettigrew?
Thank you, Worship. We, just for clarity, we will be bringing the agreement to the next public meeting. So we'll include that, if that's okay with that amount, included in the agreement to have it all as one document to move forward with that.
Okay, Councillor Willett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I agree with the 2,000 platinum.
All right. Councillor Scary?
I would be in agreement for the 2,000 as
As
well
well?
as the sponsorship.
All right. Well, Councillor Legacy, I may as well go around and double check to make sure.
I'd agree with the 2,000.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Anderson?
I would agree with the 2,000. That's why I was asking how many games they were, because I was, I thought about the table as well, thinking it'd be nice to sponsor with the table, but I just find 5,200 is a lot of money for 10 games. But I would be good with the 2,000.
All right. And Councillor Branch?
I'm good with the 2,000.
All right. So we have a direction for 2,000. We'll at least have that in place. And we'll go from there. Okay. Well, this ends our meeting. I wish everybody a great evening, and we will be seeing each other next Monday for a regular public meeting. For everybody, please enjoy the Snow Bear Festival that we're going to be having. Tuesday evening. Yes, Monday's Family Day. No, Tuesday. Tuesday's our public meeting. Next Tuesday. Join us next Tuesday. Thank you, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you this weekend somewhere at one of the activities. Good evening. Bonsoir.